and I'm quitting alcohol. So it's another fucking Monday. I was down at the library today getting some fucking work done because last week was a fucking write-off. An absolute fucking write-off. I tried to make up for it the whole week in the last couple of hours of Sunday night, but I fell short. I tell you what I need to get better at. I need to get better at dealing with chaos. I'm good at living in chaos and I'm good at being the chaos, but when chaos is foisted upon me against my will, I struggle. I have to throw everything out the window, all my plans, just to deal with what's going on. I should be better at rolling with the punches, dealing with variabilities, especially because I got 2 fucking kids now as well. So there's fucking curveballs left, right, and center. But I don't know what it is. I think it might be a leftover relic from my previous self, that unless something is going how it's meant to be going, I don't fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? Does that make fucking sense? Like, I can't juggle things. No, I don't want to juggle things. I can only do one thing at a time. My whole fucking consciousness can only focus on one thing at a time and nothing else can enter it. But when I was younger, that used to happen and I would just not do anything. Unless things were running smoothly and perfectly, I would just fucking ditch it. And I never really cared about anything enough to fight through. For example, just something shitty like fucking if someone was meant to pick me up and take me to footy training and they didn't turn up or they didn't turn up on time or whatever, I just wouldn't go to footy training. I wouldn't walk down there and train myself. I'd be sick. I get a day off training. It never even occurred to me to fucking go down there with my footy boots by myself. It was like a 300-400 meter walk. Never occurred to me. Why would I walk to go and run around a field? That seems like double exercise, which I wasn't into in the first place. That's the attitude I had, and even now, still in my head when I think about it, I feel like if I was given the right opportunity and the right coaching, I would have been a professional athlete. Me. With that never say die attitude. I remember playing footy and down in Melbourne, playing AFL, Australian rules football, when I was young, when I was a kid. The skin was still soft then, pale white, soft skin. It wasn't this leathery shit I've got now. It was tender child skin. And down in Melbourne, it gets fucking cold and windy and rainy. And I remember as a kid, we'd be driving to the footy ground and there was no heater in the car. And I was like, there's just no way I'm going to be able to play. I'm freezing. I'm sitting in the car on the way to the fucking football game and I can't even feel my fingers in the car. And I would go on the field and we would warm up, if you can call it that. You're warming up in tiny shorts, a singlet, in the pouring fucking rain, freezing cold. And I was always just like, fucking, this game has to be cancelled. They don't cancel games because of rain or cold. I would run up to my coach. I'm like, it's freezing. They can't possibly let us play. Can you please put me on the bench? And I wouldn't be on the bench, but I can tell you this right now. I was nowhere near the fucking ball. I remember this particular game. I would have been under 12s or something. And I literally couldn't feel, I was getting frostbite in my hand. That's what it felt like. I was getting frostbite in my hands and fucking accidentally someone fucking kicked the football to me. I wasn't calling for it. I was open accidentally. My player must have run off because I was hiding behind the play. I didn't want any of the action. And then the ball got loose and it got kicked straight to me. And I put my hands up to stop the ball. And the pain that went through my hands was excruciating. And I didn't even try and pick the ball up. I acted like I was like fumbling it until the rest of the fucking players came over to pick it up. I was not interested. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, dealing with fucking adversity or curveballs. I wasn't real good at it when I was younger. I got better with age, but still, I can feel it. Like as soon as something fucking curveball-y pops up, I just fucking, all right, I'm dealing with that. The rest of it can fucking wait. So I start losing days and fucking weeks of productivity. So I was down at the fucking library today trying to catch up, and I fucking spent like 3.5, 4 hours down there. Got so much fucking work done. I need to get out of the house. I try and do work in the house, but there's too many fucking distractions. I'll be going to the library every day I fucking can from now on. I've got shit to do. Anyway, it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's Ask Boyle time. It's Ask Boyle time. So if you have a question you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of the generation, or any generation, a fucking comedian, philosopher, crane operator, Le Boyale is your man. Head to my website, boylecomedy.com. There's a section there for Ask Boyles. Type it in. Apparently, fucking drunk dial is not working again, so fuck that off. Put your details in, ask your question, I'll get to it. While you're there, sign up for the Patreon. I released the Patreon podcast last night. Another great question from my man fucking Mickey D over there in Florida, USA. He wanted to know about moderation, which is not my forte, but I fucking answered it nonetheless. So buy Boyle a pint, fucking get to it. Anyway, let's get to this week's Ask Boyle. So this week's Ask Boyle was sent in by Syd fucking Vicious out there in Canada. So here's his question. Boyle, I turned 30 this year and I'm still getting blackout drunk. It's like I go into battle thinking to myself, okay, you're sticking to one type of liquor and only having a couple of drinks. It starts off well with a couple of vodka sodas, which quickly leads to tequila shots, rum, gin, mixed drinks, wine, molly, mushrooms, cocaine, and dancing in a dark rave until 4:30 a.m., feeling like absolute suicidal hell the next day. I do feel like I'm about to retire my drinking career within the next 2 years. It's been real. Anyways, Boyle, if you're even able to remember, could you go through your year 30, where you were mentally, financially, career-wise, etc., your thought process? Well, Syd Vicious, you have come to the right place. Oh, I can tell you exactly where I was in my 30th year. I can tell you the day. On my 30th birthday at about 9 p.m., someone gave me 2 pills of MDMA and I took them, double dumped, and I wandered around my surprise party for about another 20 minutes and found someone else who would give me 2 pills of MDMA. So I took them. So I had 4 pills. That was at about 9:30, I would say. By about 9:50, I was semi-conscious in the back of a taxi being taken back to my house by my dad. That's where I was at when I turned 30. That was the exact day I turned 30. It wasn't the occasion for that either. It wasn't like the place to be double dumping. Double dumping. I had family. My auntie was there. My grandmother. My loving, beautiful, favorite person in the world. My nana. My Polish nana who got through World War II. Got through the Russian gulags. Barely able to walk. Her back was fucked. She hadn't traveled overseas for a long time. She somehow made it to Australia for my 30th birthday, and I didn't fucking last very long. I was not in the game long. My wife had organized everyone. There were friends from fucking all throughout my life, family, and I was gone skis. Around about that time, I was at the stage where, like you said, I was just blacking out after like 6 drinks and shit like that. And whenever I'd take pills, I would be gurning. My eyes would be rolling in the back of my head. I would be on autopilot most of the time. I'd fucked myself up so bad for so long that I was just fucking clocking off whenever it was time. These sorts of things were happening pretty regularly by then. I knew something was amiss. I had quit drinking for a few years prior to that. I think it was from 26 to 27 or 27 to 28, something like that. I can't remember. I could work it out, but I'm not going to. So I was a few years back to drinking, and I'd come back with the thunder, and I was semi out of fucking control. I hadn't had a kid yet, just married, having a pretty good time. I was working a shit job in a cafe at the bottom of a cancer hospital, which fucking was humiliating. I was wearing like a brown hat. That was fucked. You have no idea how humiliating. It was like a fucking Subway hat. I had a uniform and I was like making sandwiches and like handing over like chips and shit to fucking people. It was fucked. So I was earning fuck all money there. Comedy was in the toilet more or less because I was just drinking hard. I was concentrating more on drinking than comedy. My mental state was kind of, if I don't do something soon, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen to me. I was sort of in this limbo zone where I fucking needed to quit drinking, but couldn't quit or didn't want to quit, but wasn't really enjoying the drinking anymore. And more nights, or every second night was a fucking ordeal. I should have quit for good by the time I was 30. On balance, all the drinking that happened after 30 was fucking way more negative than positive. I had so many more bad times than I did good times after 30. I still had the occasional fucking real memorable night, but mostly it was fucked. It was that was a rough fucking period, actually. I was a mess. And then like a year later, I had a kid, which is insane to me now. It actually says at the bottom of his message, he's like, P.S. I think I may have gotten a really disturbingly ugly black chick pregnant during mushroom tequila bender. Help. I can't help you with that one, but if you become a dad, then that helps. If you take responsibility. It doesn't sound like you'll be taking responsibility for that one. But 30 is an age where you need to make some fucking decisions. Looking back, honestly, it's all fucking downhill with drinking after 30. I would be making some fucking big decisions. Maybe by the time you're 32, that could be fucking too late. You could have caused too much fucking damage. It depends how advanced you are in your fucking craziness and alcoholism. And it sounds like you're pretty advanced. So I'd be fucking making some big decisions over the next few months, not the next few years. Anyway, fucking Syd, good luck with the kid. Fucking hell. That'll do for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.